We're divorce attorneys, and we just watched episode 8 of All's Fair, which was a 2-part season finale. So this was part 1. What'd you think?
It's almost over.
That is the exciting part. It's almost over.
It's almost over, yay! No, I'm kidding. It was fine. I mean, I know you kind of hated it, but I thought it was actually better. These last 2 episodes were better than all the other episodes. At least it's building towards something, I felt. I don't know.
I feel with me, and I said this last time, that I think it was just a mischaracterization. And I blame me because I really believed a Ryan Murphy show would be a serious legal drama, when in reality, none of his shows are. None of them.
Shame on you. But yes, so this episode starts again with a detective questioning the attorneys, and the attorneys again falling for the questioning and just answering questions to a detective, even though in the past, like we've said, like Glenn Close has told them, stop talking to the detectives. Like, these women just don't stop. So they're there volunteering information. And again, this time it was Niecy Nash and Naomi Watts just speaking to the detective. And finally, Glenn Close comes in and says, ladies, stop. Like, detective, do you have a warrant? Stop talking. I'm like, again? How many times do we need to go through this same scene?
They need to be thankful for Glenn Close's character, Dina, because she has saved them like one after another. Oh, I did want to add, though, with Naomi Watts, Liberty, which their names are kind of weird, loved her outfit. Did you see it was like it was a brown vest with the matching trousers, and then it was like a Gucci satin top with like the matching tie. So I was a little inspired. I got like a little bit of a tie going on.
So that's the opening scene. And then afterwards, they're just so stressed out. It's just been such a difficult season and so many things have happened that they're like, let's just go on our plane and go to Fashion Week. I'm like, okay, which rewind a little bit. They talk about how busy they are and how they need to bring in another partner, how they need to hire more paralegals. They're just overwhelmed with the amount of work that they have. Yet they say, let's just stop everything and go to Fashion Week.
Let's go on a 5-hour flight to New York and hire a private masseuse.
On the plane.
Right, to give them all massages. And then they go to Fashion Week. But they're so busy.
I don't know. I mean, if you were in the middle of trial or you were so busy, are you going to just take off and go to Fashion Week?
Well, probably, if you promise me a masseuse.
Okay, maybe.
What is the obsession with having another partner? Why do they have to have a partner? Why can't they just hire another attorney?
I don't understand that either. So they're saying, our law firm, we're so successful, we've gotten so busy, and we're overwhelmed with the amount of cases that we have, so we need to bring another partner. Oh, why? Why wouldn't, like you said, why not hire an attorney? And they said, and we need 3 paralegals. That's just so random. I don't know. I mean, law firms generally, they don't just, we're busy, let's go bring other partners. That's not the way law firms work. They say, let's hire more attorneys. You're not going to bring, and then they consider bringing the enemy as the partner. I'm like, what is this show? Where is this going? This is just so weird. I know I keep saying that. Where is this going? Because really, where is this going?
It doesn't make sense. So, okay. And the fact that Glenn Close, her line to really persuade Liberty, because you know how Liberty was like, no, absolutely not. You get car, I'm out. But what really persuaded her was Glenn Close telling her she had trauma when she was younger. Her dad died, and she found her dad because he unalived himself. So give her a chance. She said, you're right. What does that have to do with her being an attorney?
This is a business. It's not a sympathy. Let's just add people because we feel sorry for them. So let's just bring them on as business partners. Like, what? That's just craziness. But yes, that's what convinced her to bring her in as a business partner. Well, or not convinced her, but consider, at least in interviews, she said.
Correct. But clearly they like to pull on those, heartstrings, because even Kim Kardashian, oh, let's bring Milan back. Do you remember my receptionist or assistant or whoever she was? The one who slept with my ex-husband and is pregnant. Yeah, let's bring her back too.
Which she was the receptionist when the show started. And then they say they're going to bring her in as one of the 3 paralegals that they need to hire. Which, okay, yes, 100%. We want to support women. We want to go. I mean, obviously we're women. We're pretty much an all-women firm as well. So I understand that. But how does it make sense saying we're so busy, we need to hire 3 new paralegals, so I'm going to bring the one that's 7 months pregnant so that she can go on maternity leave next month. How does that solve your problems of needing the work to get done?
It's because she wants to help her. That's why.
She wants to help the woman that got impregnated by her husband.
Yes.
And the reason why not the reason why she got divorced, but one of the reasons, or the tipping point why she got divorced. That's just, I don't know. Speaking of which, I don't like how they portrayed Kim. I mean, I know we've mentioned this, but the way her role, she's this powerful attorney, yet they make her just so weak and dumb. Like, she just makes the dumbest decisions. She falls for every single trap that's out there. She makes, bad decisions. Her lawyering, you don't see any of her lawyering at all during the show. So it's just, I don't know. I think they could have done a lot better with Kim.
They should have made her more, I think, of a side character.
No, because it's Kim. They had to.
No, I know, and I guess she's an executive producer. She's the one putting the money into it, so they had to make her a main character. But if they supposed to portray her as this very powerful woman, attorney, very boss, they just didn't do a really good job because they made her pretty weak. But either way, so then now we got a little bit of lawyering with the whole mediation. First with Carr, they give her a chance. They decide, okay, let's give her a chance and let's interview her.
Oh, after Kim finds out that she is now sleeping with her soon-to-be ex-husband, she still considers bringing her as a partner of the firm, and she did the same with Milan. It's like she's just collecting all these women that her ex are sleeping with. It's like, this man is getting around the firm. I mean, he is sleeping with everybody at this firm, and she's like, welcome. Oh, you slept with my husband too? Welcome. Like, you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. Everybody gets a job. If you slept with my ex, you get a job. Like, is that the criteria that she's going by? Because it seems to be working for these other women.
She's a very, very nice person. I think that's it.
She's very dumb.
But, come on, the funniest scene, even though I know it probably triggered you a bit, was her cosplay.
With Carr?
Yes, where she dressed up everything when she hired the stylist to tell her, I need to look like Alora.
Yeah, I was a little triggered by that.
I know, it happens. It's crazy, and people probably don't realize it, that, law firms were all so professional, which we are. I'm not saying we're not, but people get obsessed. Like, it's happened where I'm sure you remember. I know, I'm like, I feel bad for triggering you, but when a certain person dressed exactly like you.
Where you come into the office, you're like, why are you wearing my outfit? And it's like, me? Wearing no, this is completely different. We're like, no, we look like twins. But then when it starts happening every day, you're like, this is weird. This is really weird. So yeah, I was a little triggered, but it was fine. I survived the episode.
Yes, you did.
And life.
I know, but that was really funny. They did a really good job with making her look like it. Like they even did like the tan, the eyelashes, like the hair, the makeup, and even I think they gave her like a butt pad, or maybe they put some Skims on her. Gave her the hourglass. Like it was, that part was actually really funny. I like that's how she showed up to the interview. But to the interview of them interviewing her to be a partner. Correct. Yeah. And then they were like, okay, now we want to see you in action. You're going to join us for our mediation. So they bring her to the mediation, which I thought was weird, is that you had all the partners, all four of them, plus, now Carr, so 5 attorneys. I'm like, how big is this case? Because the other attorney was just like one attorney, and they didn't really say how important this divorce was.
Well, even the other attorney, though, the husband's attorney is like, oh, we get all the partners at this mediation. That was strange. But that mediation, the case itself was pretty interesting. Now it's like, okay, now we're talking about law. So there's the little bit of sprinkles of law that we get, and this is the only sprinkle we got in this episode. But it was a couple that had been married, got divorced, remarried again, and is going through their second divorce. And I thought that was really cool because we keep mentioning that in all our prior episodes about how many times people marry, divorce, and remarry the same person again and then go through the divorce. And I was like, we kept saying that. We said that in, I think, at least two other episodes. And finally, they brought it in. Yay.
I know. We're like, yes, on point. And then they started really going into what the courts look at, what is the law regarding child custody visitation.
It was a custody case. Well, it was a divorce, but mainly like
They're focusing on the parenting schedule, correct. Mm-hmm. And Liberty, Naomi Watts' character, started going into, we have to look at the best interest because their client, which was the wife, was requesting primary custody, and I hate it when they say that, but reasonable visitation, supervised visitation
And best
for the
interest,
father.
best interest is the legal standard that the courts use. And 730, evidence code 730 is what they use to bring in experts. So ding, ding, ding. Yes, they got it right. Finally. I was so excited.
That was funny that they brought in those terms. And then, but when I was thinking about it, kind of didn't make sense. Why were they requesting supervised visits? Because of his radical views?
I thought that was really weird. They could have done better than that.
Exactly.
Like, people get supervised visits very often when there's domestic violence, when there's some sort of abuse. I mean, there's many reasons why people get professionally supervised visits. And in this case, it's just because of his radical political views or his thoughts on Illuminati or, I don't know, some random stuff. It's like, that's why you're going to give him supervised visits? That was really
I know,
strange.
that was weird. And then, so they were talking about, trying to convince him, and he was like, no, we're done here. We're leaving.
I'm out.
And of course, who had to save the mediation? Because clearly 4 partners could not say anything.
They were sitting there like this. It was real. I'm like, are you guys going to say anything? I mean, this client of yours has 4 partners here. They're paying a ton of money. They're probably paying like at least $4,000 or $5,000 for that 1 hour to be there. Say something. Do your part. And this man's about to walk out, and they just sit there, kind of like us with their cards, just like this. They're like, oh, he's going to leave.
But Carr had to save the day. We knew that was coming.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had to make it all dramatic, where she said, sit down, and starts asking him questions. So isn't it true that you
Good.
believe the aliens, created the pyramids and
Right.
whatnot? I guess she had her people dig up some dirt on him, some interviews he said back in some year. I don't know. They made it seem like it was years ago, several years ago, which I'm thinking, she married him twice. So did she know about this when they got married and then had kids?
She knew about his radical beliefs. She had children with him knowing of this. The children grew up in this environment. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's not okay. But you know who you're marrying, and you know what their beliefs are. And now suddenly it goes from, I'm raising these children for years with this man who has these beliefs, but now suddenly those beliefs deserve a supervised visit or supervised visits. I don't know. I have a hard time sometimes understanding that, especially sometimes even with our cases,
Right.
when there's abuse or something, 100%. But when it becomes, oh, he's not a good father or she's not a good mother. Well, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, they're always just busy doing this. I don't trust that they're going to take care of him properly. You need supervised visits. I'm like, did they take care of him properly during your marriage? No. How long were you married? 10 years. How old are your kids? 10. So for 10 years, you were okay with this person raising your children this way, but now suddenly that deserves supervised visits? I don't think so.
And then I really like, though, the ending, how they did it, where she's with her friend. And that's how they started. Remember the episode where she was with her friend, the one, I think it's her baby daddy.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's her baby daddy. And they were watching a Meryl Streep movie. And at the end, she finally discloses the plan. A plan to take revenge on the firm because she's so upset how they, hurt her. But
He asked her,
Yeah.
why do you want to be a partner? You're doing well. Everything's doing, it seems to be amazing for you. Like, why do you want to join these women as partners? And that's when she discloses revenge. She wants revenge.
And that finally, I think that the show really focused on that she is the villain now. Because before you would kind of be like, oh, is she the villain? And then, oh, we feel bad for her. She's nice now. No. Now it's she's the villain. Everyone else is, a good character. And they really focused on her. Remember, she was telling her plan and kept zooming in on her face. And it was like, ha ha. It was a very like, ha 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 moment.
It was. It's like, wow. The villain comes out, and now we know. So that was pretty much it for this episode. So we'll continue watching so that you don't have to.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.